Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone, but there is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new word in. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room at the table for everyone. Here and now we can be the beloved community. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come on, pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. Let our hearts not be hardened to the living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is how we gather in for everyone. Everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live in-person and live Zoom worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Riverside. Our opening hymn this morning is number 1053, How Could Anyone, from the Teal Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 1053, How Could Anyone? Thank you, everyone, for joining us here in person. And thank you for joining us remotely by Zoom, where we will continue live streaming and posting these services on our YouTube channel for our virtual attendees. I'm Ren Mansour, a member of the Worship Committee, and I will be your worship associate today. Other members of the Worship Committee who make this service possible include Alec Peck, our music coordinator, Adam Whittaking, who monitors our visual and online connections, and Kate Lewicki, who is in charge of our sound system. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and with muted electronic devices, please. Welcome to this morning and the opportunity to be together in community. This congregation is a place where we come to learn more about being human. We come here to learn more about being in relationship together, how to listen, how to accept, how to be vulnerable, and how to create trust and compassion in one another. Welcome. We are glad you are here with us today. Before we move into the service, there are a few announcements we would like to share. We will mention several websites, email addresses, and phone numbers. At the end of the service, we will leave up a slide with all this information, and it is available on our website. The monthly UUCR newsletter comes out the first of every other month by email and, per request, by postal mail. If you have something newsworthy or that you would like to contribute, email uuchurchofriverside.calendar@gmail.com or call the church office at 951-686-6515. If you would like to be added to our mailing list, please contact the church office. Our first Sunday luncheon will be served today after the service. Today's theme is Italian dishes. Contributions are appreciated and will be donated to the church fund. One person's trash is another person's treasure. We will be holding our summer yard sale on the first weekend in May. If you have any gently used or saleable items you no longer need, we will be collecting donations. All proceeds will go to our church fund. Please see Avery for further details or to sign up to volunteer for this worthy event. Setup will be May 2nd with the sale on the 3rd and the 4th. Who knows? You may discover some hidden treasures. A discussion on the ongoing peace series will be held today from 12 to 1 p.m. in the sanctuary following the luncheon. All are invited to attend and participate in the Q&A session. Church Council will meet on the second Friday of the month in the annex. The next meeting will be at 4 p.m. on April 12th. The next Women's Federation meeting will be on Saturday, April 13th at 1 p.m. in the Parish Hall. Our guest speaker will be Dr. Gawain Antel from UCR. She will be speaking on the environment and climate change. Everyone is welcome. Please bring light refreshments to share. And now I invite you to sit back, take a slow, deep breath as we move into the worship hour. You are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. Our mission is to foster a diverse religious community that celebrates life, affirms the individual, encourages spiritual growth and open thought, and works to advance social justice and environmental sustainability. Thank you. Our speaker today is UUCR member Laura Luna. Laura Luna was a foster child who was adopted into a family with an atheist mother and a Christian father. She graduated from UCR and became a teacher. She enjoys traveling the world and exploring different spiritual perspectives. She gave birth to a child with autism and has become a mystic, spiritual thinker, and free spirit. She is the current president of the Women's Federation here at UUCR. The first UU principle asserts the inherent worth and dignity of every person, calling us to respect ourselves and others. The second principle of justice, equity, and compassion in human relations highlights collective responsibility and reminds us that treating people as human beings is something that has systemic implications and can inform our entire cultural way of being. April is Autism Acceptance Month. The recognition raises awareness about autism acceptance and promotes inclusion and connectedness for people with autism. It is a time where all are encouraged to improve their knowledge and understanding of the different experiences and characteristics of individuals on the autism spectrum. It is also a time to showcase the value that autistic perspectives bring to our workplaces, educational spaces, and communities. Today, we will learn about World Autism Awareness from a parent of a son with autism. We hope the presentation will encourage us to be more comfortable living and socializing with those who have autism. We have two lightings of sacred flames. The first is the occupied Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Candle. The second is the lighting of our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We walk upon the traditional territories of diverse and sovereign peoples, the original people of this land who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. This spot we occupy was first the sacred space of several groups of Indigenous peoples, including the Cahuilla, the Cupeño, and the Serrano. We, the Universalist Unitarian Church of Riverside, light this sacred flame as the stewards of this sacred and holy place. We are blessed with a space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be part of a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's reading for the chalice lighting is Different Yet United by Pat Uribe Lichty. We come from many places, along different paths, bringing different truths. We come with different histories and different realities, and yet we come together as one people, with faith that we can use our differences to heal ourselves and each other, to bring wholeness to a fractured world. We come seeking to find community, to find acceptance of who we are. In this place, we may find others who are much like us and others who are much different. May our lit chalice remind us that we are people taught by different stories, with many voices, but always one people, working for a world where love creates justice and justice gives birth to peace. Thank you, Bill. We have a tradition at UUCR to welcome those who are visitors or perhaps returning after some time away. We know it can be uncomfortable to stand up and speak in front of others. And so I will now ask for a volunteer from someone who has been here a while to tell us your name and how you found out about the church. We ask that you step close to the mic and speak into it directly and clearly so everyone can hear. However, be aware that you will be visible on our Zoom camera and in the recording of the service, which is posted online. Do we have any church members who would like to volunteer?
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Murphy, along with my wife, Karen, my daughter, Jasmine, and my son, Britton. We recently moved to California from Minnesota, and we were looking for a new UU home, and we found this one online, and we thought we would come check it out. So,
Welcome.
thank you.
Thank you for coming. Is there anyone else here who would like to come up? A visitor or an old friend?
Hi, my name's Paula Peterson. Closer. My name's Paula Peterson, and Zach and I are from the Orange Coast Unitarian Universalist Church. And we're here. We knew about this church because we went to the Cheech Museum, and I saw it, and I saw that it's World Autism Awareness was the topic today. And Zach is here. Can you wave? And he is a person of autism, as you can see. He's enjoying his word search and eating and watching his TV. So glad we're here.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us today. Is there anyone online who would like to introduce themselves? All right. For any other new guests, please join us for socializing and coffee hour after the service. We'd love to chat with you out in the parish hall, where you will also find our visitors book. Please leave your name before you leave so that we know you were here, and leave your contact information if you want to know about upcoming events. For those online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. It is said that shared joy is a double joy. Shared sorrow is half sorrow. On the first Sunday of each month, we share the joys and concerns that we have received from you and which have been collected throughout the month. Do we have joys and concerns up here? Do we have the? Oh. All right. Is there anyone here in the sanctuary who would like to speak their joy or concern? Please raise your hand and we will invite you to speak up here at the microphone. Come on up.
Speaking as a guy who occasionally did well at a game of trivia, my shout out is to all the people who are the fact checkers who've been running so busily through the various campaigns that we have going. It's nice to have someone actually checking ideas and making them accurate so that we know what is going on and things don't wind up in this shrouded, half-known place of being. I don't know how they do it, and I don't know how they do it so quick, but they've kept certain forces on the up and up, whether they wanted to or not. I'm grateful for their presence.
All right, we have someone online, Pat Kawunder. Would you like to speak now?
Yes, I want to share a concern, a sadness. Our church friend Larry Lepre passed away, and I just wanted to share that. He's a young person, and it was shocking that he's gone. He'll be much missed.
Thank you for sharing, Pat. Walt.
Hello. If you didn't get one of these handouts, be sure and see me after. I'll just read the first very short part. In your browser, search for Democracy Now, twice. Read and watch the Friday, April 5th, just this last Friday, story entitled Lavender and Where's Daddy? How Israel used AI to form kill lists and bomb Palestinians in their homes. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing, Walt. I'd like to share my own joy in relation to this Autism Awareness and Acceptance Month. It brings a great joy to my heart that the celebration of this month exists, as I am autistic myself, and it is really wonderful to see such love and acceptance, and that so many people are willing and open to learning about this, about people who are different from them, who think differently. I know that growing up, it was very difficult for me because I did not get diagnosed until I was adult because my parents didn't want to believe that it was an issue for me. They just wanted to brush aside the difficulties I was having making friends and connecting with people. And that personally, it was unfortunately their hope to help. They were trying to help me, but unfortunately it prevented me from learning more about myself and people like me. And so it really is a wonderful joy for me to learn more about myself, and for allistics, meaning non-autistic people, to show that they are open and willing to be understanding and loving and compassionate, even if they don't understand. Thank you. Do we have any other joys or concerns people would like to share? Anyone online? All right. Bill, would you come up? Bill, would you come up? Bill Casey. Yeah. We place a stone in our water chalice to represent the joys and concerns we have shared with our church community, and in recognition of those we hold close and have not shared. May we remember those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold in silence in our hearts. Thank you. Our hymn now is number 1064, Blue Boat Home, from the Teal Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing number 1064, Blue Boat Home. This portion of our service is to support our beloved historical church. This can be accomplished several ways. In addition to the weekly collection, you may send your checks to the church address, which is shown here. You may contribute by PayPal using the QR code, which is shown here, as well as on the church website and in the newsletter. Stater Brothers Market gives our church a rebate on Stater grocery cards, which we will have in church every Sunday. You get the full value, and the church also receives a percentage for free. Please see Dinah Rowe or Robert Brown in the church office if you are interested in purchasing the gift cards. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever method works best for you. Thank you for your generosity. To those who give of their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. And to all of you who have joined us here today, thank you for the gift of your presence. Will our ushers now please come forward to receive the collection? A bag will also be passed around to collect food and hygiene items for those in need. Thank you to the Bills for collecting the bills. Our next hymn is number 402, From You I Receive, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing number 402, From You I Receive.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Our meditation today is Let There Be a Quiet Time Among Us, a responsive reading by Barbara Hamilton Hallway. I invite you to join in reading the bold italicized words projected on the slide. Let there be a quiet time among us. Spirit of life in us and around us. Here is our chance once again to live like we wish the world would live. May we find within ourselves the courage to be who we are. May we find when it is time to listen and when it is time to speak. May we trust ourselves to be the ones to find the words that need to be said or to do what needs to be done. May we trust one another and know that there are many ways to go through life. May we know that though we cannot change some of what life gives to us, we can choose how we deal with what we are given. We are coming into our power, and together we can make possible justice and love. We are all connected. We depend upon one another more than we know. We are one body. So be it. Blessed be. Amen. Now let us pause for a moment of silence and reflection. And now I would like to introduce Laura Luna, speaking to us on World Autism Awareness.
Thank you. Very nice to be here today. Hey, I was hoping by the end of the presentation I give, that everybody here will be more comfortable associating and interacting with those with autism. That is my hope. I would like to begin by saying, in the Native American culture, those with autism were considered the shaman of the tribe, or shamanese. If you don't know what a shaman is the priest or the doctor of the tribe. And you have to be born this way to be the shaman. They're the healer, the person that had access to and influenced the world of good and evil spirits. They say that if you know one person with autism, that you know one person with autism, that each person with autism is vastly different as an individual. There's a theory that those with severe autism, that their souls are stuck in the world without civilization. They're stuck in the forest and the meadows and the rivers, and they have connection with the spirits. You could think of autism as very similar to the ugly duckling story that we have. If you ever heard of the ugly duckling story, there was one duck that was actually a swan, and the other ducks didn't realize this. And when they grew up, they saw that this was actually a swan. When you're dealing with people with autism, you are dealing with the swan of the ducks. And we must remember that. They say that there's a lot of theories for autism. One of them is that because autism has been around for all of human history, though we have a new name for it now. This has always existed since the beginning of humans. And they say that maybe they helped us go from hunter-gatherer to farming institutions. That if it wasn't for the autism folks, we wouldn't have lined things up and put things into routine and formulated farming, that they were a big part of us going from hunter-gatherer into farming and civilization. These were the ones who in the Library of Alexandria, they were the ones keeping the documents together and keeping everything organized. In the history of time, people with autism have been very vital in organizing us and keeping us in routine. When we speak about autism, some people say that they were born in the natural state of Zen. And Zen, all Zen is about is eating, sleeping, and pooping. That is the basis of Zen. And that people with especially severe autism, they have a natural state of Zen that they were born with, that it would be good for us to connect with. People with autism, especially severe autism, they have no biased look at life. They have a naturally strong sense of justice. They find it difficult morally lying. They have very heightened senses. When my son was very little, when we were in the backyard, he could hear the plane coming before we could hear it. He knew the plane was coming because he could hear much better than us. And he would say, a plane is coming. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And then a minute or two later, you could hear the plane. They have sensory overload all the time. Think of it as always being in Las Vegas, that you constantly live there, you never leave. Everything is an overload for their senses. They are beyond uncomfortable when they're out in public or in certain situations. Sometimes they're staving off a meltdown. It's very important to know that when somebody with autism is having a meltdown, do not touch them. It is our instinct to try to touch them to calm them down. But if you see one of them with a meltdown, do not touch them. Give them their space and their time. They have empathy, but it takes longer to process for them empathy. They can internalize the feelings of others strongly. They cannot recognize your emotions correctly, but they can empathize deeply with you. So they can't walk in your shoes. They don't know your perspective, but your reaction overwhelms them. And they take on the emotions of your reactions to an event. So though they don't know the cause of your reaction, whatever your reaction is, they're going to take that on severely. When it comes to genes, some of the theories for genes, we know that if you have very small amounts of autism, you need low support of autism. This can give you positive survival value. When we talk about the spectrum, many people ask, what is that about the spectrum? The spectrum is if you need low support, like Mozart, who is theorized to have autism, if you need very low support, then you have more optimal positive survival value. If you need a lot of support, then this can be an impairment on your life, having autism. That is the spectrum that we talk about, low support or severe support. For the genes, it has been said that they might have too many synapses between neurons in the brain, and the possible cause could be gene mutations. Gene expression might be involved as well. They believe that gene therapy might help in the future. Autism is in the same area for genes and neurons as Down syndrome and Fragile X syndrome. Fragile X syndrome is the genius gene. I have a quote from somebody who has autism and what they believe and how they go to associate with them. And it says, stop reading secret meaning and horror into everything I say and do a little bit differently than you. Stop judging me based on the criteria that worked for you and allow me to set my own. Let me look different. Let me speak differently. Let me be slow when I need to be slow. Fast when I need to be fast. Alone when I need to be alone. Trust me to have some judgment in how I approach things. People don't need to be the same as you to be good. Everyone knows that intellectually they know this, sure. But if everyone were to actually internalize this, then the autistic folks would be a lot less unemployed and live a lot longer than we do. For autism, a good example about how they react. My son recently went to school and he had a green shirt on and his teacher had a green shirt on. And the teacher said, oh, me and you have the same shirt today. How nice, you know. And my son got very upset with her and he cursed her out and was very upset. So she was very upset with him and she called home. And when I spoke to him later about it, he said, Mom, her shirt was dirty. She was calling me dirty. And that's the social disconnect that they have. And he was very offended by her calling him dirty because their shirt was the same. And he was telling her, our shirt is not the same. I do not look like you. And so I had to explain to her that this is where the autism comes with the social, that even though you're trying to compliment him, it's very literal for them. And he actually thought that you were offending him. So that's a good example of you just very carefully work with them and remember that it's very literal for many people who need severe support. Now, going into the Bible a little bit about what God says about autism, for those of you who believe in the Bible and God, it is in John 9 that he talks about the disabled. And This John 9 is about a blind man who was born, and the parents in the community go to the holy house and they ask, why is he blind? What sins did the parents commit? What has happened to create him to be blind? And God, the answer from Jesus was, this is not from the devil. This is not because anybody sinned. Autism is from God. This is a blessing in disguise. God has created this so that we can all be humbled and thankful for however our life has turned out, and to also understand that this is God's presence. If you would like to take a look at, you could maybe want to look at the movie Father-Stu. This is a very good movie where he was born typical, but then over his life, he had a progressive muscle disorder, which he became disabled, severely disabled in his older life. And he said that disabled people are an example to you to stay humble and be thankful for your able mind or your able body. When I found out that my son was diagnosed with autism, yes, I cried about it. I had tears for a while for it, but I cried until I had no more tears. And then I got up and I've never cried about it again. I fully accept my son. I wouldn't want anything to change. I accept him just the way he is. And I'm very thankful to have come to a place where I see this as a blessing in disguise. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And to know that if we were in a Native American tribe, I would have given birth to a shaman is incredibly powerful to me. Afterwards, we will have Q&A. We're not going to be able to have Q&A today because we're having the peace panel. But if you see me in the parish hall, I would love to talk to you about this. If you have any questions or you have anything you would like to say about this. Like I said, Mozart and Einstein were considered to have autism, very low support autism. And you'll see people on the spectrum that have anywhere from low support to high support. And I want to just clarify that for everybody. Another way of looking at it is they have a different operating system. So say a typical person works as a PC, autism work as a Mac. So we get to the same place, it's just a different operating system, the way they go about the world. I thought I would mention that to clarify for anybody. But yes, if you have any questions or anything, I would love to answer it. And I hope that the next time you see somebody with autism, that you think of the ugly duckling story and realize that you are seeing a swan right in front of you. Thank you for your time.
Our closing hymn is number 131, Love Will Guide Us, from the Gray Hymnal. Feel free to sing as the Spirit moves you. Please stand in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us.
Love will guide us, peace has tried us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from pain to living. Love will guide us through the hard night. If you cannot sing like angels, if you cannot speak before guide us, hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
Love holds you. Love bears witness to all your inherent dignity and worthiness. It witnesses how you try, succeed, and fail, and it does not flinch. Love will not let go. Love holds all of you. Namaste, Amen, and blessed be. Thank you, Laura, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to hearing from you again. Due to time constraints, we will forego the regular Q&A session and now adjourn to the parish hall for First Sunday lunch. If you have thoughts or comments on today's service, please feel free to share or discuss them while enjoying the meal. Thank you for joining us this morning.